today with composer Thomas Kotcheff. Welcome, Thomas.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. So you love popcorn.
Love popcorn.
Have you had kettle corn much before today?
You know, I've dabbled.
You've dabbled?
I've dabbled in kettle corn. I stick to usually buttered, but...
Okay. We like kettle corn around here. Alright, so let's talk a little about your piece for this concert.
The title of the piece is Part and Parcel.
Part and Parcel.
Well, I guess what really inspired the piece is the idea of the percussion quartet itself and what it means to be in a percussion quartet, play together, and I guess the theatrical nature of percussion.
Oh, great. Okay.
So a lot of the piece is about four people playing as one, and then two groups of two playing as two people, and everyone playing alone, and then coming together again and playing all together. So it's various groupings of that.
And you've worked with sandbox percussion before.
Yeah.
Some of them. And so you came into this knowing those players a little bit. So how was that experience for you?
Sandbox and I, we go back to Peabody together as students. We really got reconnected again at Norfolk Chamber Music Festival, where I wrote a piece, a mallet quartet called Hammering, which they've played quite a bit since then. And being able to write for them again has been just an absolute treat. They're incredible musicians, and I feel like our collaborations are always really, really positive and great back and forth, and they're always willing to adjust and suggest great options for changing instrumentation, improving the rhythms, and stuff like that.
Awesome. For us, with kettle corn, we sort of have in mind this social sharing music experience where we're just, sharing music with each other and eating and drinking and letting it be sort of a casual experience. And I know there's a lot of different music listening experiences that happen outside of the concert hall. So what's your feeling on that?
Well, I come from a performance background, and in Los Angeles I played tons of piano music, both solo, in my piano duo Hocket, as well as in chamber groups in Los Angeles. And I think that this notion of taking music outside the concert hall, making it more casual, talking to the audience, serving food and drink, is an amazing direction that a lot of groups are heading in. And perhaps I think that's really, really positive for what we're doing and trying to get a bigger audience for what we do.
Yeah. And
just change the atmosphere of how to approach what we do. It's not a situation where you're sitting there have to be in your chair and quiet. It's more like you can interact with the music, interact with the players.
Right. And so you grew up as a performer. Did you have any other musical experiences beyond playing piano or even beyond classical music that sort of inspire what you do now?
I think for me, everything inspires what I do. I played French horn in high school.
Really?
Yeah, for 3 years, and also middle school. And that taught me what it means to be nervous. When you play French horn, you get cued for that solo. And if you're nervous, forget it. It's done. It's just like you're going to start squawking the whole joint up. And I did it. I actually cried after one of my solos.
What was the solo?
It was Tchaikovsky, Capriccio Italian. The shells go bum, 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 and it's like, horn. I was like, and I was just my head down in my lap, and I was so embarrassed. Couldn't even
Yeah.
Afterwards, I went to the conductor. He's like, I'm so sorry. He's like, don't worry about it. But crucial lesson.
Yeah. So it sounds like you, as both a performer now and your experiences in the past, you're very aware of all the things that have to go into consideration when you're writing for live performance.
I did start piano when I was very, very young, and I was just a pianist for the first 16 years of my musical life.
Right.
So I think really for me, I do see myself in the lineage of what it means to be a composer-performer, or performer-composer, one of those two.
Yeah. Thanks so much for talking to us today, Thomas. We're really looking forward to the concert.
My pleasure.
Let's try that again.
Love it.
Oh, wow.
Don't put that in. Yikes.
Yikes.